DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
You're live.
What's up?
What's going on, guys? We are waiting for DJ Barr.
Well, we can introduce to him what we're talking about here. We're back at it. DJ Rick Webb, as always, Rick Weber. Yeah.
Brandon Havrilla. Yep. We are going to talk about kind of event planning today, and event preparation, what we do to get ready for gigs. And I figure we could start from the very beginning because we wouldn't have to get ready for the gigs if we didn't even have the gigs. So we'll start by talking about how we get the gigs. I guess like different ways we promote it. I know Barr does, I think Wedding Wire. I don't know if you do any of those. I just kind of do social media and that's it, referrals. So we'll get into all that as soon as he gets here. But
we'll talk about that, and then we'll dive into how kind of we organize for weddings and planning, what softwares we use, what kind of different sheets we use, what do we send the brides and grooms out to fill out for information, that sort of stuff.
Right, all the paperwork. I also was interested from both you and Barr, as well as the audience too, to see when you guys contact the couples or the event planners or whatever it is. Do you have a general like 1 week out kind of email that you send out? Do you reach out the day of just to confirm details and how everyone handles that? Because I know everyone has kind of their own way and method, and some people are like, never text the clients, and other people are like, I only text the clients. So
yeah. I think it'll be interesting to hear from me. Well, at least me and Barr for sure, because I mean, both me and him are kind of in like a transition into trying to start our own thing versus working for people. So,
right.
Like I'm feeling it out myself. I don't really have a set. I kind of do, just knowledge of Nair, but we'll see here.
Right. Yeah, I just recently started organizing with the software a little bit too. So when we dive into the software, I'll kind of explain what I'm using. Which is probably what a lot of other people use. But all you guys watching this video, feel free to chime in the comments. Let us know what you guys use. Let us know what you think about what we're doing. If you think we can do anything better, or you like what we're doing and you're going to steal it, whatever it is, keep us in the loop. Feel free to ask questions down below. Hopefully Barr gets here soon, but I guess we could begin with kind of how we get our gigs, how we get our jobs.
Would you like me to start?
Sure. I'm just going to pull up the live video so I can see the comments.
Let's see. Advertisement wise, I do mostly social media, just like you do. So mostly primarily Facebook. I also do a lot of groups. So trying to hit the buy and sell groups if they let me. A lot of them have strict rules against posting advertisements, but buy sell groups, Facebook. I have been running a little bit more on the promo side of Facebook, paying for Facebook ads. It works here and there. It's not too bad. And then my big one that I've used in the past that really didn't translate well when I went down to North Carolina, but that might be because I'm really new to the area, was wedding shows, bridal shows, wedding shows. Definitely up here in Ohio over the past 5 years that I've been doing them. Huge success at almost every show I go to, probably anywhere from 5 to 10 bookings at each show. Normally is the turnout. And those are my primary ones, I would say, in terms of advertisement. I have been contacted. You probably get the emails from all the companies and stuff that want you to join their elite gig master, Wedding Wire, all that. I'm considering
Right.
Wedding Wire. And then I've actually had like local newspapers and stuff contact me to be in there to advertise with them and stuff like that. But I haven't actually gone through doing those. So I'll let you go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, so I do a lot of the same. Social media is actually where I get most of my business. I track almost every one of my leads. So whether it's a phone call, email, or whatever, one of my first questions back to them is, how'd you hear about me? Where'd you hear about me? And a lot of it's social media or referrals, or we were at so-and-so's party and you were the DJ, you were great, this and that. Or we got your name from so-and-so who used you for so-and-so's graduation, whatever. So a lot of it's referrals and social media. I do paid Facebook ads occasionally. I haven't really seen any direct positive impact from that. I do know it reaches people though. I'll have friends like text me all the time, be like, "Oh, I just saw your paid ad that came up in our feed or whatever it is, or I saw your sponsored post, this and that." But I haven't really seen any gigs come in that say, "Hey, we saw your ad on Facebook" or something like that. But you mentioned the groups, and I think that's a really interesting point, especially for marketing. That's one of the best ways you could market, is both marketing yourself and marketing your company, is Facebook groups. I know, I'm not sure if you've posted in some of the DJ groups even, but DJ idea sharing and mobile DJ network and stuff like that. I know me and Barr every once in a while will post even our own video or something like that in one of those groups to kind of advertise and market ourselves essentially, or our YouTube channel. But as far as businesses go, there are a lot of groups, both locally and even if you're trying to reach another state or something like that, that you can join and post ads and post pictures and post text and stuff about what you have to offer. One of the popular ones by me, so the town I live in is East Northport, and we have a group, Facebook group called East Northport Moms, and it's basically all the moms of East Northport. And there's some dads and local businesses and stuff in there too. But I found that's the best way, along with, we have like, our county has our own Facebook group, which is like a buy and sell group, like you mentioned too. So that's where most of my leads come from. And Barr joined us just in time for his turn. What's up?
What's up, guys?
You joined us just in time. We're talking about how we get our gigs, before we get into the planning, because we wouldn't have to plan if we didn't have the gigs in the first place. So we're talking about kind of what we use to market ourselves and our company and different stuff like that. I know me and Rick don't really use Wedding Wire or anything yet, but I think you do, right?
Yeah, so basically I'm pretty new mobile DJ. So I started I started mobile DJing when I started my YouTube channel, which was about 2 years ago. And once that started taking off a little bit, getting a little bit of traction, I started getting a lot of DJs watching me, because I'm in like New York City, New Jersey area. It's very there's a lot of DJ companies basically around here. So I started getting work from them. So a lot of the stuff that I do is with other companies. So that was what was happening for the last year, which was last year. I did a lot of work for other companies. This year I have gone all in with advertising. I've taken ads on magazines, ads on Wedding Wire, ads on The Knot, and it's expensive. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Do you find any positive impact from using Wedding Wire and stuff? Do you track your leads? Do you ask them where they found you or how they found you?
Yeah, so I'll just give you straight up numbers. I won't like BS you guys. So the Wedding Wire was super expensive, but I was just like, hell, I'll just pay for it. It was $2,000 for the year for a pro listing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided to just put it on my credit card and just put the $2,000 straight up. So I paid him up front because I think I saved like $400 instead of doing a monthly installment. So I just went all in and put $2,000. As of now, within the last 3 months that I've been on Wedding Wire, I started all this January, so this is all brand new to me. I've only booked one, and that one wedding that I booked was for exactly $2,000. So if I can just book one, I'll be in the green. The knot has been horrible. I really don't like the knot. I'm thinking about closing it. I believe the knot has this thing where like basically they give couples an app, and basically they just give them free range, like auto generated messages, if you will. because sometimes I'll just get a message saying, "Hey, I saw you on the Not app," but it's not even like I don't even know if that's an inquiry. Like, okay, what do you want me to say? Like they're not even asking for anything. It just says, "Hey, I saw you on the Not app." Like, what am I supposed
Hey,
to do
I
with
saw
that?
you on YouTube.
Yeah. So I really, I kind of want to give up on the Not. I'm not a fan right now. Wedding Wire has been okay. I think Wedding Wire does a better job of curating their list. I feel like on the Not, there's a lot of people wasting your time.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it.
Yeah, I've never really tried Wedding Wire or the Knot, partially just because my main focus isn't really weddings. I'd rather do the corporate events and larger social events and Sweet 16s and stuff like that. And I felt like Wedding Wire is just kind of, a Sweet 16 person or a corporate client is not going to go to Wedding Wire to really look at your reviews. But I could be wrong about that too. That's just kind of the way I saw it. I know there is, I think it's Wedding Wire's like sister company. They have like Event Wire or something, or event something. It's just like a general event one, but even that just seems pricey for the return. I can't imagine getting that much out of it.
Yeah, it's really not that bad, but figure it's 3 months, so figure I'm booking one a month. So if things go as they're going right now, if I book 4 in the year with that $2,000 listing, that's still profit.
Right.
So I just have to book one, and I'm pretty sure I have to book just one more to be in the green. And if you can turn $1 into 5, I'm all for that. I mean, you got to invest money to make money. Like I said, I don't really like the Knot. Knot has been horrible. I mean, I get a lot of leads, but they don't respond. Wedding Wire has been good, but yeah, like you said, you're not gonna find like Sweet 16s there. And I predominantly want to do weddings. I don't like dealing with like younger parties, if you will. It's not me. I came from the club world, so that's as close as I can get. And anytime I do like kids parties, it feels like I'm dumbing myself down. I hate it.
Yeah.
Sweet 16s are cool though. I wish I could do more Sweet 16s. Those are badass. Sweet 16s and quinceañeras, but there's no like, where would you advertise for that?
Yeah.
That's word of mouth, really. I think.
That's a great question, actually.
That and social media.
Instagram.
Yeah. If you're on even Snapchat too. I mean, Snapchat, obviously they got to add you, but if you can get a following on Snapchat and post, new stuff or new, equipment or just...
This year I booked 2 Sweet 16s because like a DJ, a fellow DJ is like friends with a girl who's having a Sweet 16. They like referred me to a girl that's like having a Sweet 16. So they're like, "Hey man, you got to get Barr from YouTube." So that's kind of funny.
No, but that's an interesting point because Instagram is where I have the most traffic and everything for advertising for Pigskin when we do those club nights. That is where we've gained the most traction when we do paid Instagram promotions. Pretty interesting.
Paid and hashtags. I was actually just looking into the other day, like how powerful the hashtags actually are on Instagram. So I went back on some of my posts and just added some keyword hashtags and stuff, and I started getting new likes like immediately. And I'd go follow them. So one of my posts was after like corporate clients locally, and I'd get, people to like that post, and it was like Sunrise Highway, Auto Giant, and local corporate businesses that could be looking to hire for their holiday party or their summer barbecue or something like that. So I did have some luck with that. And I also found recently that with Instagram, you can add hashtags to your bio. Mm-hmm. So you can people can find your whole profile via hashtag rather than just a particular post.
Yeah. So I think we pretty much covered where we get, or was it?
Wait,
where
do you guys advertise though on Facebook and Instagram? Yes. I've done ads on there before, and I've never turned it into a booking. And my biggest following was on Snapchat, but ever since they changed the app, it like completely sliced my views. I was so upset, and now because I'm like kind of pissed off at Snapchat, so I just stopped using it. I switched to Instagram.
Right.
They like sliced my views by like a half, which is insane. So now I'm like all in on Instagram now.
Yeah. Instagram stories too.
Instagram stories.
The ones where you can do like a yes or a no or a thumbs up or thumbs down or something, like some kind of vote or interaction. I was really surprised by the response I got from those. I posted like 6 different setups in a row and just kind of give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. And it was actually really helpful.
Oh, that was on Instagram?
Yeah. My Instagram story.
Yeah, and Instagram is really good with that. They did a really good job of revamping that thing. It's so much better than Snapchat stories.
Yep.
The main reason I was using Snapchat more than Instagram stories was because I was getting the views, but now the views aren't even there. So, I think it's a dying platform. I hate to say it because I like Snapchat.
It really is, sadly.
Yeah.
But as far as your Facebook question, you missed out the beginning where me and Brandon talked a lot about how we use Facebook and how we advertise on Facebook, and we use the groups a lot, the local groups in our area to gain bookings a lot.
That works for you guys?
Yeah, I use buy and sell, and then Brandon, you had a few other ones you use.
Yeah, I had local buy and sells, and then I had actually the town I'm in, East Northport. There's an East Northport moms group, and it's mostly moms and dads and local business owners. And I've had the most success with that because it's very local, and they're always willing to keep the business local too. So
yeah, and you'll find even if it's not a direct client, a lot of people on those groups, if they see your ad and they know someone is getting married, they'll just tag them in the comments real quick. And I've got a decent amount of inquiries through that for sure.
Really? I've never thought of that. Honestly, though, I like Facebook is like my worst platform. I don't use it at all. Most of my stuff, most of like my content that's on Facebook is usually fed through Instagram. So it's like, share this. Would you like to share this on Facebook as well?
Yeah.
I honestly, like, if you send me a message on Facebook, like, good luck me responding. I don't check it at all. It's just I'm not a Facebook user.
We noticed that today.
I'm not a Facebook user for sure. I'm just like you, Barr. I never check Facebook barely ever, but I do check my messages. That's the only thing I check.
Yeah,
to a degree.
Every time I go on Facebook, it's just, I don't know. It's like internet diarrhea. It's like so much coming at you.
Yeah,
it's like an ad, and then it'll be like some dude getting his head cut off. It's just crazy. And then it'll be like babies. It's insane. Facebook is not for me. I just don't use it.
So we should move now into how we handle the clients.
Yeah. So I guess, we'll go in chronological order.
Yeah.
So we'll start with, now the gigs came in. We got that inquiry from Facebook or email or however they reached us. And I guess we'll talk about what we do from here and how we kind of handle it as far as responding and stuff like that. You want to start us off, Rick?
Oh, God. So are we saying they've claimed that they want to book us, or they're just asking?
They've just reached out. They said, they reached out. Hey, we're having a graduation for our daughter's high school event.
So normally I just try to ask them more information about the gig. Normally they're asking directly, what is your pricing? So I'll send them a pricing brochure of some sort. I have multiple ones, one for weddings, one for events, one for school dances. So normally those are sent out, but normally it's just some nice wording, asking a little bit more about their event and wanting to get to know them and potentially have a phone call and sit down and talk.
That's the end goal.
That's the end goal, but
getting them to sit down or like a call. But most people
Yes.
are like, they just want a number, and then
they just want a number. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. What about you, Brendan? What do you do?
So, pretty much the same thing. I'll get more information first. However, I don't give out price brochures. I don't really even have price brochures or a price list or anything like that. I have my prices of kind of what it costs me to do each thing. So if they want to add, I don't know if you guys do zap shots at all, but it's basically candid shots from a photographer throughout the event, and they're displayed in a slideshow on the TVs. And that's one of our biggest upsellers here in New York. But I have what it costs. I pay the zap shot photographer between $150 and $200, and then I need to pay a roadie to go set up the 2 TVs. So I have what that costs, and then I have what I'd like to make on that. And then I have like my lowest price that I can go. So if the client's, really pushing, or if they're getting a big package from me, I can only go as low as this amount before I'm actually losing money. So I have those kind of prices, but those stay internal. They stay with me on my computer, and basically I'll get more information from them once I have the date, the venue, the times, everything like that, and I can make sure I can get it staffed and everything like that. Then I'll go ahead and give them a price. But I usually prefer to talk to them on the phone before that. I'll ask if they're available for a phone call. I don't like to send prices out over email or text until I've spoken to them on the phone, because it's a lot easier to sell someone on the phone, I found. Especially with my iPad booths. I know a lot of people have been asking about how to sell iPad booths and make them sound good compared to some of the other DSLR booths. And that's one of those things where, if I'm saying that over text or email, I find it very hard to sell. Whereas when I'm on the phone with someone and I can explain all the perks to it and, always throw in that, hey, I'll be honest with you. Meanwhile, everyone's kind of says that. But, I'll be honest with you. I'll be flat out with you and let them know a little bit about the booth. It's a lot easier to sell that way. And then when you throw the number at them, it's not as surprising. And they're not like, oh, it's just an iPad, how come it's that much? But you sell the whole service with it. So that's kind of what I do. I try and wait to give a price until I can talk to them on the phone. And then from there, if they want to book, then I'll schedule a meeting to meet with them in person.
I completely forgot to mention that for any pricing, I make sure they have to fill out a form prior to them sending me the pricing. So I need to make sure I get their name, phone number, all that, so I can call them afterwards and can email them and all that fun jazz. But
see, with me, it's a little different. I hate BSing people, and this is like I'm a horrible salesman. I think that's why my closing ratio is really bad. If somebody just says a message, how much do you charge? I just tell them, hey, listen, if you want me to be at your wedding, just like hands down, it's going to be at least $1,000 just to get me there 4 hours. That's just the starting price. I honestly hate BSing. I wish I was a better salesman, but I just like most of the time I have the information. Like most of my leads come in through like I mentioned, like the Knot or Wedding Wire, and they tell me the venue, they tell me what they need. So basically in that little, they call it like a cheat sheet that they send you, is like, oh, this is what they're looking for and this is what they need. So I just straight up tell them a price. And I find that though that leads to a lot of people not responding. But I've tried it different ways too. Like I've tried BSing my way around the questions, like, oh, what kind of vision do you have for your wedding? And most of the time they don't even respond to that. The reason why I've stuck to just telling them a price up front, it just cuts out the BS and just like, listen, this is what it's going to cost you. This is realistic. If it works, hey, it works. My biggest disappointment though is when people don't answer, because you go out of your way to be extra nice to these people, like, hey, thank you so much, congrats on your engagement, and things like that, and then they're just like, no response. And I love it how you can see they read your message 42 minutes ago. It's like such BS, but yeah, my closing ratio is it's horrible, but if somebody sends me a price message, it's probably like competition or somebody or some local guy on YouTube just like saying, hey, how much do you charge? That's why I've given up on being like all secretive about pricing.
yeah,
$1,000 is like 2 speakers and a mixer, 4 hours. That's pretty much what it costs, but it goes up from there. Everybody usually pays the same thing though. Once you start adding the add-ons and everything, everybody's usually in like the 1,600 range, stuff like that. But I wish I was a better salesman.
you hire one.
Yeah, my closing ratio sucks. And plus I'm like the one to sit there, oh, I hate requests. Here's my list of demands that I need.
Oh God.
Yeah. But
I saw you post about your closing rate the other day in one of the groups. You were asking about the office space too.
Yeah, so at Mobile Beat, one of the biggest things was, hey, if you want to increase your booking ratio, get an office. And for me, that's one of my issues because I got paid for these leads. So basically, I spent a lot of money on these ads. And I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or if it's everybody that's in the same boat where people just don't respond. But I have a horrible response rate. Like people just don't respond. Like, I get at least 2 leads a day. and sometimes they just don't respond. It's so annoying.
I
I wish
think
they would just say no, or like, oh, thanks, we found somebody. But sometimes they don't even give you that courtesy. They're just like, message read.
Yeah. What I've seen happen actually a few times, and I mean, not really inside of a bride's mind to know, but what I've seen happen is they will actually have their company that they're going to use. And they've already met with them and said they're going to book them and everything or whatever. And they already have, a friend's uncle or brother that they're going to use for the event. But then they go out and they contact a whole bunch of local companies to get pricing. And basically, if any of those prices come in lower than the company that they want to use, they'll bring that price to them as, hey, can you beat this? We got this from someone else. If you can't beat it, we'll go to them, kind of thing. And they'll kind of use it to shop around that way. And then at that point, they know that they're using you just for price. So they don't want to respond and get themselves caught up in something else. But I've had plenty of people that, as soon as they get the price, they just don't answer, or they won't pick up their phone, or this and that. I had one lady that did finally pick up the phone, and I was like, hey, this is Brendan from blah, 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 entertainment, this and that. And I was like, you had reached out about an event for your son this date. I was following up on the quote I gave you, this and that. And she played dumb for like the whole conversation. She's like, I don't know who you are. Oh, I don't have you in my notes, this and that. And I was like, all right, just tell me that you booked someone else, whatever it is, so I can go on to the next lead. It's like,
yeah, that's my thing. I don't know how to handle leads too. I used to follow up on my leads. I'm like, oh, I don't want to let this one die, but lately I just let them die, just because like if they don't answer, I feel like they're not interested, and I don't want to beg for anybody's business. Ironically, the one person that I booked on Wedding Wire, she one of the things that she said to me, hey, we went with you because you weren't pestering us when you didn't respond to our message. And I was like, really? So ever since she said that, I don't follow up. If you want to work with me, I want to work with you. But if I got to beg for your business, then I don't want to work with you.
Well, and there's a lot of those bigger companies that have automated email services that are sending out emails weekly, monthly, trying to get them to keep booking. So they're pestering is a big thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, I've shopped the competition as well. Have you guys ever shopped the competition? So I
know them all. So, well, at least in my current area, yes. But
I'm moving to, yeah. I signed up as a bride named Stacy, and I shopped.
I didn't go that far.
I shopped everybody in town, and yeah, man. Like they would follow up with you like 5 times, and I'm like, oh shit, I still got this email. Yeah, well, I logged on once, and there was like 50 emails waiting from companies that I didn't respond to. I just wanted I wasn't even shopping for a price because I'm pretty set on my price point. I was just seeing how they respond, because I felt like that was my biggest issue. But everybody just says thank you, congrats, and most people are really aggressive. They try to get you in office or on the phone right away. Mm-hmm. And that's probably best practice. If you can get them in person, then you probably your chances of booking are pretty high.
Yeah, people have a hard time saying no when it's face to face.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sales still sucks. I hate it.
Yeah. Shopping the competition like that is very interesting there, Barr.
Dude, go tomorrow and use my account, Stacy.
Nah, dude. I actually reached out to the companies. Like I met with a few of them in person, just
as a DJ.
Yeah, as a DJ, and asked them straight up, "What are you charging in the area?"
Yeah, well, see, I didn't care about pricing because I know how much I was going to charge regardless. My prices weren't going to change. My biggest thing was
strategies. Were you looking for strategies?
Yeah, I was looking for basically their sales strategies. So I was looking to see how would they respond to an email that basically says, "Hey, my wedding is this day. How much?" I was just looking to see how people responded. But everybody responds the same way. They say, thank you, congrats. Are you available next week to come into the office? Do you have time for a call? That's mostly what people say. Mm-hmm. But then the follow-up emails are the funniest.
Wait, how'd you answer a phone call with yourself being Stacy? Did you make
what do you mean? No, you sign up. You sign up, and then you go on Wedding Wire. You make a fake account. And then you just, you go to vendors and you just say, hey, my wedding is so-and-so date. And are you available? And things like that.
I meant phone calls. Did you actually answer any phone calls from them?
Oh no. I don't sound like a Stacy. I hope not.
That's what I'm saying. Give it to Linda.
No, I just did it because I needed help responding to emails because this is all new to me. All this sales stuff is new. I really needed help on that end, so I just did that to see how people responded. But they were doing the same thing I'm doing. I don't know if it's everybody that doesn't give responses.
True. So,
I know.
software.
Yeah. I was just going to bring us into that actually with what Barr was saying with a lot of people's emails being that, hey, thank you and congrats and stuff. That brings us right into software because I think a lot of those companies are probably using software to send out those emails and make their lives easier, because I know some of the multi-ops by us too. I mean, there's several, if not dozens of leads coming in a day. And most of them are not going to book. Most of them are just BS and they're just looking for price. So the software kind of makes that easy and streamlined. Whereas if you're a single op and you're just trying to book yourself here and there, software might not be the way to go, because it might be easier to actually book. You might have a more successful booking rate if you're personally writing those emails and personally connecting, rather than just an automated email saying, hey, congrats, you're another bride, here's our price,
Correct.
So I guess we'll start with, what software, if any, do you guys use? And we'll go from there about how we use the software.
All right. I'm first again, I guess. So I don't use any software technically that I pay for. With my website subscription, I get Google, professional account, Google Drive account, professional. I don't know what it is, business account.
Google Business, yeah.
Google Business, yeah, I get Google Business. So I've utilized a lot of the apps and stuff inside of Google Business to do automated emails, as well as forms and automated. Everything is in Google Forms, Google Drives, that is organized for my weddings and all of my events. If you have any wedding with me, you will have your own Google Drive folder that I will send you a link to that has all your forms to fill out, all your contracts in there that you can download, and it has the fill-in and stuff. You can sign it and then upload it right back in there. Your timeline's there, so everything's there that they can edit, I can look at. It's my way around paying for the softwares out there that you guys are probably going to mention, while I'm still at the level of a single op. I do plan on eventually getting into the programs and stuff like that when I start bringing on multiple DJs, because I need multiple sign-ons and all that. But that's what I'm using right now as my software, and it's been working pretty well. I mean, the brides like it, especially the younger ones in the late to mid 20s. A lot of them like that because they've been using it in school and all that, so it just flows very well for them. So
right now, you mentioned that was linked to your website. Do you use Wix?
Yes, or no. Wait, what do I use?
Squarespace,
yes. Had to get back on that.
Feels like every YouTuber is sponsored by Squarespace. We got to get on that.
Yeah, right. Seriously, send them an email.
Yeah, seriously. Sponsor everybody. And like every video I watch on YouTube is like, this video was brought to you by Squarespace. Shout out to our sponsor, by the way, Electro Voice DJ.
Let me pull out the list real quick.
No, I use DJ Event Planner though, and they're one of the sponsors, and that they didn't tell me to say that, by the way, but that is what I use. Sure. No, I started working for a couple of companies. Like I told you guys, I started basically companies brought me on as like a subcontractor, if you will. And mostly everybody was using that. And I was like, man, this thing is kind of awesome. One of the things that I will say, it's not very user friendly. It's very tough to set up at the start. But once you set it up, man, you're golden. It's like that software is powerful.
Yeah, that's actually the one I plan on getting eventually.
Yeah, and like I'm not a multi-op. I have no interest in becoming a multi-op. I just want to do me. And it works. It's just a good way to keep everything, organized. And people love the fact that you give them a client portal and then they can go in and request music and stuff like that. That's the biggest selling point. It's like they can go log on, create a playlist. They can put their do not plays, their must plays, and fill out the questionnaire. That's really what makes it key.
Yeah, I use DJ Event Planner too. I actually started using it recently, but I love it, and I found it just to make everything way more easier. And back to client meetings and actually booking clients, I actually use DJ Event Planner to my advantage with that. And like you said, giving them that online portal, I'll actually encourage them at the first meeting when I meet with them. I'll encourage me to meet with them somewhere. I'll bring my laptop and I'll actually log in. I'll log into a test event that I have set up that basically just has some random information in it, a random date, basically just a whole bunch of BS that I set up as like a demo event. And I'll log in right in front of them. I'll show them how easy it is to click and drag music, how they can view all their payments. They can make payments right there. They could view all the information. They could see the DJ that's going to be on the job. They can see, all that information about their event. They can confirm that we have the right information. They can fill out their contracts, their wedding planning forms, their timelines, all that right there. And I like to show them that in person, show them how easy it is. And B, maybe if it's not easy for them, if they're not very technologically advanced, that's kind of like a tutorial session. So if they do book with me, they know how to use it. But if they are, if they are familiar with technology, they'll see that and, that just helps book. Because they see how easy it is. They're not going to be sending a million emails back and forth, one email with the first dance song and one email with this and that, the cake song. But yeah, I use DJ Event Planner and I wouldn't go back to anything else. Before that, I used iCloud Drive to the same sense that you were using it, Rick. And I had a folder for every event. And I wouldn't necessarily share it with them, but in that folder, I would have the invoice, the contract, any graphics that went with it, whether it's the photo booth graphics or TV graphics or whatever, their logo, anything like that would all be in that folder, and I could pull it up and I would just use that email and my contracts in Google Docs and everything like that. And I actually still use Google Docs for my contracts. I haven't fully integrated that into DJ Event Planner yet. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the way they handle the contracts in there.
Oh, I'm all in on it, man. It's just I wish I knew how to work DJ Event Planner because of MySpace. I don't know if you guys remember MySpace, but if you wanted to create like a custom page, you had to know a little bit of coding. So I dug back in my brain about like coding a little bit because you do have to like input a lot of codes. And I just remember using PhotoBucket to upload pictures so that I can get a what's it called, a embedded code for pictures and stuff like that. It's definitely not user friendly, but yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I like it. Before that, I was just using paperwork though, but there's nothing wrong with using paperwork. Just print out a questionnaire.
Mm-hmm. We should mention that. How important do you guys find it to have a website?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
Like for weddings and all that.
I think it's very important just because it creates like a central home base for everything. So you could send clients there to view pictures, they can view videos, they can contact you, they can, see what you have to offer. Everything's kind of in one place. And I integrated DJ Event Planner so they can actually go to the contact page and log right into their account there as well.
Yeah.
So it's really like a home location, whereas Facebook and Instagram, all those are just branches where they could also contact you and see what you're all about. But I find the website is just kind of, an all in one place. And with Wix, I set up the whole SEO thing too. So when you Google Long Island event production, I think, and Long Island event DJs, I'm on the first page, which is pretty cool. So if anyone's just doing a quick Google search, on a Sunday afternoon for their wedding or something, I'll be up there. So
you guys pay Google to do some kind of SEO, some kind of Google AdWords, or no?
No,
I do not.
I just personally, I find it myself if I'm Googling for something and I see links that come up and they say ads on them, I'm not going to click on them.
You're going to skip it?
I skip
Agreed.
them.
I always skip the first two, all that purple text.
So that's why I don't do it. But
What do you guys think about websites?
I think for weddings, you definitely need one just because you got to compete with everybody else. You got to offer what everybody else is offering. Honestly, before everything I just started was this year, so my website is only 3 months old. Before then, I was still getting bookings without website, so I wouldn't say it's necessity to have it because I was still booking stuff last year on my own without a website. This business is all about referrals.
Yeah.
Referrals are
Really.
key. So it doesn't matter if you have, a 1,000 5-star reviews. As long as somebody refers you and says, "Hey, this is the guy you got to go with," they're gonna book you. If a friend refers you, you're golden.
Yeah. My one thing with websites, the reason why I think you should have one for sure is just the fact that someone pointed out on I forget, it was on a group page or DJ page, that websites, those are there forever. Facebook, even though it's probably going to be there forever, you're not sure it's going to be there forever. Facebook could shut down your page at any moment. Instagram could do the same thing.
What? Who said this?
It was in one of the DJ group pages. It's
He
true though.
lied. If anything,
You have no
your
control over
Facebook is gonna live forever. Your website is gonna die as soon as you stop paying.
Also true. But,
Somebody's gonna buy your URL. Whoever said that is full of BS. You're honestly, to everybody watching out there, I guarantee you that your Facebook page will live on long after your company goes out of business. Not saying that they will, but I guarantee you that the business page for that company will live long after
all
than
right.
than the Facebook than the website. I just that's bullshit. Sorry, I curse, but no, there's no way. That just sounds. I bet you I can find like a bunch of companies that went out of business. Let's see if Toys R Us has a Facebook.
Well, as far as bookings now, back to the wedding or the website. Weddings, I find that clients think you're more legit, similar to like if you had an office, you're even more legit than that. School dances, the kids are normally the ones that find me and want me to do their dances and stuff like that. And when I can send them a link to my website for the advisors, like one of the first things when I talk to them is like, I went on your website and watched your videos and stuff like that, just to make sure you're not one of these stupid young kids playing all kinds of trash music and stuff like that. And you're actually like a legit DJ. So that helps me out. But yeah, that's my website experience.
I've had some people ask for videos too, even after, oh, we're going to book you. Do you have any videos of previous events or pictures? So it's just easy to send them right to that webpage. They can access it anywhere on their phone or their computer. And again, it's just that kind of like home position where they can go and access everything.
Yeah. It depends on what you're looking to book. I think like if you want to book like 316s, I think you gotta aim for like social media market.
Yeah, you do.
If you can get a big following, man, it's just you're golden. You're gonna book Sweet 16s. It's just all about finding an audience on those platforms. Kids go crazy for that. If they see you have like 25K followers, they're like, man, this guy must be really good. Regardless of what talent you actually have, they're just gonna see that number and like, wow, this guy's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The other thing with the website too, which I don't know if you guys have, but I have an email linked to the domain. So rather than being, blah, blah, blah at gmail.com that the person's getting an email from, it's info at, and then the domain name. Again, it's like Rick said, it's a little more legit in a bride's eyes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes you look legit when you have info at.
Info at.
Yeah,
DJ
info
Barr
at. Oh wow, these guys are legit.
Whoa.
No, dude, it costs like $5 to get, so it's like it's well worth it. It's like the best $5 you'll ever spend.
Yep.
But getting like that info at whatever website you have, it's clutch.
Yeah, and it's the little things. Like we joke about it, but I mean, I've gotten even major companies, whether it's a lighting manufacturer or local DJ store or something like that, and they'll email me the invoice and it's like blah 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 at gmail.com or like at yahoo.com, and it's just like you chuckle a little bit when
I feel like our generation in particular is like a little bit more prone to that, because even like at schools we have like our own
right.
email at the school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we know about it. I feel like older people aren't like used to that, so they use a regular Gmail. But we're like, oh, that's legit if you have your own at email account.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you take anything away from this segment today, guys, everybody watching out there, I would say take that. Just go get yourself an info app. Info at website.com. If you don't have one, you got to get on it.
That and If you need to know what the people around you charge, make a Stacy account on Wedding Wire.
Stacy, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Stacy.
know that.
Stacy Smith, thank you.
Do we have anything else we need to go into, Brandon?
Yeah, we've got a few more minutes and then we got to wrap up. So let's just talk about, as I mentioned in the beginning, I think before Barr got here, what do you guys do? I guess kind of like any religious contact thing that you do, say like a week prior or the day of. Is there anything you send out every job, say the day of, confirming details, or the week before confirming details, or anything like that?
I have to meet with everybody before the event. I have to meet the week of. I very rarely do I go to an event without meeting the people. I always just meet with them just to reassure them that everything's going to be cool. Even if in my mind I'm like shitting bricks, I'm like, oh man, I don't know about this brick. I'm always like, what's up, guys? It's going to be a fun night this Saturday. You know, I go in there all perky, just trying to ease them. And that's my trick. I try to let them go in with a good mindset. And I tell them to dance because honestly, like we can only do so much. As long as the people hosting the party are out there on a dance floor, you can rest assured that everybody else will follow. So I try to tell them, hey, if you want a successful event, just make sure that you're out there dancing. That'll keep people dancing.
Mm-hmm. Especially at weddings. If the bride and groom are not dancing, people want to be with the bride and groom. So they're going to go wherever the bride and groom are regardless, to talk to them, to be around them. So if they're on the floor dancing, they'll be on the floor dancing.
No, that's the only really thing that I do. I like to meet with people.
So my contact requirements, like the religious thing that I've done since I started doing weddings and all the events, is like Barr said, have to meet with them. Brides, grooms, weddings is always 1 month out, at least 1 month out. That's like the latest you can get me. I need to be 1 month out. Try to make it at least 2 months out. And then as far as contacting them, I allow them to make changes and stuff to their timeline as long as it doesn't affect the price necessarily. They can up the price to a degree, but nothing that'll subtract. Once we've had that meeting, we discussed everything, that's finalized. If they want to drop something, that you can't do that. It's part of what you agreed upon at the last minute there. And then coming up on the gig, every Monday prior to the event is when I will text them out. Normally I try to text them direct request, just basically make sure everything's set, we all good to go. Where are we meeting? How am I getting in? That sort of stuff. Venue contacts, contact the venues, all that fun stuff. So,
yeah. A little sales trick that I do too is on that final meeting, you could try to upsell some stuff, just discount everything, because better bring it out to an event than having sit in at home. So let's say you have uplighting. Let's say you usually charge like $300 for uplighting. It's like, hey guys, I still have uplighting available. If you want it, I'll throw it in for like $150. Better make that $150 than leave that stuff at home.
Correct.
So it's a good time to like upsell a couple of things too. Just give them a discount, give them an incentive to book.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For sure.
But now that I said that, everybody's gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, "Let's wait till the last minute."
Yeah, this is all DJs.
Yeah.
They're gonna steal that strategy. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. So I always reach out, like you guys said, always usually within 2 weeks or 1 week before the event. That's like my final contact, preferably a phone call. If they can't answer, they are busy. I'll do it, via email or something, but I like to do it on a phone call. And it depends on kind of the previous planning process. If we've already met 1 or 2 times, or we've met, say at, a Starbucks or whatever, because I don't have an office yet, and then we've met at the venue for a site visit, I probably won't make them meet a 3rd time just to finalize everything. I'll do that on the phone. If it's something where I've only met them once and it was for a few minutes or something like that, I'll try and get them in a physical meeting. But I'll send out that last week before the event, I'll send out an email, and that will basically have all the up-to-date information that I have, confirming all the details, the times that we're going to set up, all the equipment or whatever services they booked, photo booth, DJ, whatever, just confirm everything. The other thing I put in there is their payments. So I make them aware that last week of any payments they've made, deposits, whatever, and what their remaining balance is. so that the day of they're not surprised, or, oh, we don't have that money for you, or, oh, can we write you a check because we don't have the cash, or this and that, or, oh, we forgot our checkbook too. Can we mail it to you or something like that? And I don't want to get stuck in that situation. So it's just kind of a final reminder of what they still owe, what they've already paid, and everything like that. And like you said, at that point too, usually 2 weeks to a week before, I'll try and, send out something, or I'll happen to be having a special that week on, like Barr said, uplighting, or, upgraded light show, or a photo booth or something like that. Or I'll say, we have it available. And just, like you said, get that out on the job. It's better that it's out on the job than sitting home collecting dust. So,
yeah, it's a good point to point out, to remind them of their price, what they have to pay, and all that sort of stuff. I make sure that they always pay, but prior to the event, in my case, I stipulate that they have to be paid in full by 2 weeks out.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I usually ask for payment before the event. Except for Spanish people. Spanish people don't trust anybody. No offense to my people in Spanish, so I can say that, but Spanish people will be like, how do I know you're really going to be there? They don't want to pay you at the end of the night.
The one exception to that rule would be schools, because majority of schools have to file a buttload of paperwork to actually get me a payment. So schools are the only exception that I allow that for, but they do have to sign a contract, so I get paid regardless. I'll take it to court. Never had to do it.
We are just about out of time. We got to let John go and get ready for the next show.
Yeah, we do.
So thank everyone. Thank you,
everyone enjoyed
watching. Yep. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you learned something that you can apply to your business and yourself. And we will see you. We will be back next month. Same time, same place.
Feel free to let us know what you want us to talk about in the next one.
And share with your friends. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that bell.
All right.
Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.